on that messages and you can post your question. If you have any mic issues, or else if you are actually want to post your question while other question answer is in progress, use the chat message window.
Yeah, Rajesh sir, we can
So
start, sir.
yeah, let's start, Pavan. So yeah, I'll introduce. So this webinar is actually part of all the communication that we alumni have with all the students in order to actually help guide our future physicists. So with that, we had multiple opportunities and multiple events that we have conducted and conducted. Last year, we had one to discuss about the opportunities abroad, and we can still actually build on the top of the knowledge that you have gained from the previous discussion, maybe in the near future. But at the same time, we wanted to discuss about the opportunities in India, which is mostly needed, but we couldn't do it immediately after last year's session. So this is in part of actually that backlogged item to discuss all the opportunities and to actually take the guidance of our seniors who have already passed through all those phases. And some of us actually have the presentations for you. Rest everyone, uh, it will be all ad hoc. They will share the information from their experiences based on your questions. And if you want their contacts, they'll immediately share those contacts, and you already are in the WhatsApp where you can always talk to them directly one-to-one. So thank you all for joining, and we'll start with actually Pavan, and who has prepared a deck for you in order to start with. So Pavan, over to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, is my presentation visible?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? Is this
Yes,
PPT
Pavan.
visible, sir?
Yes, Pavan. Yeah, we can see your screen.
Yes, thank you, sir. A very good morning to all the alumni, so my seniors and my juniors and my friends. I'm Dr. Pawan Kumar, working as Assistant Professor of Physics, Master Engineering College, Hyderabad. So here I would like to give some information which I collected for the PhD opportunities for the MSc Physics students in India. So I did my PhD from Usman University during the year 2011 to 15. Then I worked in NIT Warangal as a ad hoc faculty for 1 year. Then I worked in DRDO for a project as a young scientist fellow from 2016 to 2019. So from 2019, I'm working as assistant professor in Master Engineering College, Hyderabad. So I will make it very simple. First of all, the information here I'm giving is what are the different institutions we are having in India, and what is the qualification required to get the PhD admission there, and how frequently this advertisement will release. So first one, as by my knowledge, the best institutions in India are IISc and the GNCSR, which are located in Bangalore. So for these two institutions, if you want to get a PhD admission, valid GATE scare and NET-JRF is mandatory. For the JNCSR, not only this GATE and CSR JRF, even with just score also, you can join. And there are some other fellowships like the Inspire Fellowship, which will be awarded to the university toppers. So with that fellowship also, one can join in these two institutions. So these advertisement will come 2 times in a year. So generally, mostly November, and next one will be in May or June. So not only for these institutions, for any institutions, if you want to get the admission, better you check the website continuously. So before 2-3 months. And after these two institutions, next one are IITs. So we have several IITs in India. So for IITs also, a valid GATE score and UGC JRF, CSR JRF, and DST Inspire Fellowship. So same, in fact, for this most of the national institutions, these are the same qualifications are required. And this advertisement will come twice in a year. And even NITs also, National Institute of Technologies also. We are having around 19 or 21 NITs, maybe 30, maybe more than that. I don't remember the number exactly. And for all these four top Indian government institutions, so valid gate score,
Sir, we can't
and
see the PPT.
is it
Yes, sir. It's opening your desktop actually.
one second.
రాజేష్ కొంతమంది క్యూలో ఉన్నారు టు జాయిన్ ద వెబినార్. ఇది అందరికీ ఓపెన్ అయితే కన్వీనియంట్ ఉంటుందేమో, సో దట్ యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ టు బి ద మోడరేటర్ టు అలౌ దమ్ టు డైల్.
యా అలో చేశాను సార్ అందరిని.
ఇప్పుడే ఒకళ్ళు ఎవరో మెసేజ్ చేశారే, మధు సమ్మాన్.
యాడ్ చేశాను సార్.
ఓకే,
సో పీపుల్ ఆర్ స్టిల్ జాయినింగ్.
ఓపెన్ డైరెక్ట్ ఉంటే చూసుకుంటూ ఉండక్కర్లేదు.
Is this visible now, Balaganesh? Is this okay now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Right. Okay.
Now okay, sir.
Yeah. So for these are the top four institutions: ISC Bangalore, JNCSR Bangalore, and IIT NITs. So for all these four institutions, valid gate score is required, and CSR, JRF, RNET, and just score also. And for DRDO labs, when coming to DRDO lab directly, they will not give any PhD admission. So they will take as JRFs. They will give the fellowship for 5 years, and after getting the JRF portion there, you can register for PhD in any institution in India. And some DRDO labs are having MOUs with a few NITs and few IITs also, and central universities also. You can register there. So that you need not to do coursework kind of things and all, or you can manage the coursework kind of things. So your certificate will get from NITs and IITs, but you have to carry out your work in these particular DRDO labs. And for this, same valid gate score and the CSR, UGC, or JRF. In fact, here the CSR, JRF, and UGC, JRF, both are there. Mostly for us, for physics people, this is only CSIR JRF. UGC is for social sciences mostly, and some electronics subjects also there in UGC JRF. So for our, particularly for our physics, mostly this CSIR JRF only works. Next institutions are our state level universities like Usman University, Kakti University, Telangana University, etc. If you want to do PhDs in this, this CSIR JRF, NET, SET, these three are anyone can be okay. And sometimes universities will conduct a separate examination that is called university entrance examination, like our MSc physics. So they will offer exam for PhD also, entrance exam. So if you qualify in that examination, then you are eligible for interview. Okay, so then if you can clear the interview, you will get the PhD admission. In all these institutions, first step is written test like GATE, JRF, SET, or entrance examination conducted by institution, and next level is interview. So these two are steps. And when coming to other institutions in India, we have few private universities like Geetham University, Mahendra University, and KL University, SRM University, Vignan University. There are several private universities. So they will also take twice in a year. But the fellowship, some institutions are giving 25,000. Some institutions are giving even more than that. For example, in Delhi, there is an institution. Recently, one of our alumni got admission there. There, the fellowship is around 50,000. So like that, based on the institution, they are offering different kinds of fellowships. But minimum fellowship in private universities is 25,000 or 20,000, based on your qualification. For example, if you qualify JRF, you will get 32,000 plus HRA. If you qualify GATE, 25,000, or even without GATE also, some universities are offering 25,000. So it depends on university. In private universities, there are no fixed fellowships. So from university to university, the fellowships are varying based on their qualifications. And next one, when you see other institutions in India, there are few institutions named as Indian Institute of Science Education and Research, and in the similar name, National Institute of Science Education and Research. So these institutions also there, they are like our educational institutions only. They are offering PhDs there with the just score and GATE, CSR, JRF. Okay, so these qualifications are enough to get the admission there, and some institutions are conducting separate exams also here. So this also will be released twice in a year. And another institution is Indian Institute of Space Science and Technology, Trivandrum. This is also one of the fantastic institution in India, IIST Trivandrum. So one of our alumni, Srinivas Raju sir, he did his PhD here. And I heard that the beautiful thing from this institution is they will offer the PhD with a just score. And after PhD, even you will get the job also. They will offer the jobs also in that institution. 1 minute, sir. I will try to add the participants from here. Yes, sir. So this is about IIST Trivandrum. So there they will give you the job opportunities also. Next one, IGCAR. It is located in Kalpakam. So IGCAR, I didn't get a specific notification here, but I heard from my friends that it's the same. GATE score or CSR JRF is enough to get the admission there. And another interesting and beautiful institution which I found, which I worked with in fact, I worked with this institution, that is UGC DAE Consortium for Scientific Research. So Department of Atomic Energy India and UGC collaborated, and they established 4 institutions in India. One is in Indore, next one is in Bombay, Calcutta, and Kalpakam. So the beauty with these institutions is directly they will take the PhD admissions based on just score and CSR net also. And even for other students, for example, university students who are pursuing in state level universities, these institutions will offer facilities. If we request them, they will give you the facilities, and which is for free of cost. Even they will give you the transport charges, accommodation, and everything they will provide. Even hostel also they will provide there. Train facilities also they will provide. You just after getting the work, you have to acknowledge them in your research papers. So this is really a fantastic institution in India. So most of our university students are getting benefiting from these institutions, UGCDA institutions. And this is some detailed information. As I said, we have several IITs. First, IISc and the JNCSR, which are located in Bangalore, and IITs are we have around 23 IITs here. I think even the list is more, and 31 NITs in India. These Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research. There are 7 these institutions in India: Kolkata, Pune, Mohali, Bhopal, Thiruvananthapuram, Tirupati, Berhampur. Okay, so in these institutions, applications are invited in March and September of each year. And I will share this PPT. In addition to this PPT, I will also share all the individual notifications. Okay, I will show you that after this 2-3 slides. I will show you those notifications also. And NICER, National Institution, this is located in Orissa, Bhubaneswar. And UGC DAE, as I said, it is in 4 places: Indore, Bombay, Kalpakam, Kolkata. And yeah, these are the notifications of each institutions. If you see this IISc Bangalore, so this is a previous notification. If you see here, they have different the programs. You can see eligibility here. So bachelor degree in engineering or bachelor science, valid GATE score, net JRF is mandatory, and this is for bachelor's degree. And if you see for PhD, These are MTech programs. There are some integrated PG courses also there. These are useful for BSc students. So if they can clear JAM examination, they can do MSc plus PhD there. So this is uh, so they're offering PhD under external registration programs also. As I said, for example, if you are working in some DRDO lab or if you are a government employee in some other institution, so you can register in ISC Bangalore also. The PhD selection process and timelines. You can see they're announcing the announcement of admission test and timeline on 23rd June. So as I said, May, June, and November, December. These 4 months are important. All the institutions mostly they will release the notifications during these months only. And these are the applications forms. When come to the qualification, same. I collected from here only. Round 1 examination, round 2 examination, and interview. So these are the 3 steps here. So like this, I have all these notifications. I will share these notifications in group. If there are any queries, you're welcome.
Yeah, Pavan, keep sharing the document while
Sure.
students can differ and then ask the questions.
Sure. So to summarize my presentation, I would like to suggest that if you want to do PhD, you first prepare for the CSR or GATE examination. And in India, we have very few institutions. Fortunately, one of those institutions is there in Hyderabad, UV Physics Academy. So many students are getting many benefits from that institution. You can join there, and they're offering even online coaching also now. You can check in the website. If anybody want, I will share the link in group also. It's around, they're charging around 40,000 or 45,000 fee for a course. And see, as per my suggestion, one is there are 2 kinds of students generally we can see. One is who are intelligent, they can prepare for this kind of examination with their knowledge. They will get the admissions by clearing their GATE examination or the CSR examination. And there are another category of students. They may not be so much fast, but they want to do PhD. So they're having passion, but not enough knowledge to clear those examinations. So for them, I suggest you that you do some minor research project or some 4 months or 6 months project. Regarding these projects, we discussed in our last webinar also. If you do some kind of research work, if you get some experience, then you can apply for private universities. Okay, like Geetam, SRM University, Vignan University. So they are conducting one examination. So you can clear that examination. That is not so hard. After clearing that examination, they will conduct interview. So during that interview, you have to present your research. So which you have done during your project. So that is enough. That is enough to get the PhD admission there. So నా ఉద్దేశం ఏంటంటే ఓన్లీ సబ్జెక్ట్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు అంటే ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ మాత్రమే పిహెచ్డి చేయాలని కాదు, చేయాలనే ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉంటే ఆ ఎగ్జామ్స్ క్లియర్ చేయకుండా కూడా మీరు పిహెచ్డి అడ్మిషన్ చేయొచ్చు. అండ్ రీసెంట్ గా ఓయిలో పిహెచ్డి అయిపోయిన కొద్దిమంది ఒక 8 మంది మా కాలేజీకి వచ్చారు, మన ఎంఎస్ ఫిజిక్స్ స్టూడెంట్స్. వాళ్ళు ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ చేశారు 6 months. 2 batches వచ్చారు 4+4. సో ఆ 8 members లో 2 are in NIT Warangal now, and 1 student in Hyderabad Central University, and the remaining 5 students are in SRM University now. So they're all getting NIT Warangal, they are giving 32,000 fellowship. In Hyderabad Central University also, they are getting around same 32,000 fellowship. And in SRM, they are getting 25,000 fellowship. So in SRM University also, they said they are having very good facilities. So you can utilize. ఈ ఎగ్జామ్స్ క్లియర్ చేస్తేనే పిహెచ్డి చేయగలమా, ఇది లేకపోతే ఇంకొక ఆపర్చునిటీ లేదా అని కాదు. ఈవెన్ వితౌట్ క్లియరింగ్ దోస్ ఎగ్జామినేషన్స్ ఆల్సో, ఇఫ్ యూ డూ సమ్ project, research project, so you will get the PhD admission. Yeah, if there are any doubts, please, you're welcome.
Pawan, there is a question in the chat.
Let me check.
Yeah, Pawan, the question is,
Ask the-
do you have any information about fellowships in TAFR or IISER?
Yeah, ICER, yeah, same sir. You can TIFR, they will conduct one separate exam. So there also they are giving 32,000 fellowship, like same government fellowship, CSR, JRF fellowship only. And next one is sir, one is TIFR, other one is ICER,
Yeah,
right?
ICER.
Yeah,
Yes.
ICER also same sir. ICER also same. Yeah, I missed those institutions, right?
Hi, I just wanted to add TIFR also takes students to JEST actually. I just wanted to.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. So, and students, if you can prepare for this one examination, like CSR, you can clear CSR, GATE, just maybe paper standards are slightly different, but one coaching is enough to clear all these examinations. Okay, if there are any questions, even you can post in a group also.
Yeah, we shall continue this. Okay, so I'd like to actually take this opportunity to introduce two of our recent successful alumni, Madhu and Abdulaziz. So I'll start with Madhu. Madhu is a recent entrant into VLSI industry. So Madhu, can you speak about your experience?
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead, Madhu.
First of all, good morning, sir, one and all. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much, sir, for Rana, sir, because he suggested to me join the ISS Institute in VLSI analog layout. It is a 3 months training period. Analog layout. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ నేను ఎంఎస్సి బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ నుంచి వచ్చా, ఎంఎస్సి ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్. జాయిన్
మధు కెమెరా ఆన్ చేయగలవా?
సార్ ఆన్ అవ్వలేదు సార్.
We cannot see you. Yeah, it's okay now.
ఎంఎస్సి ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్ చేసిన వాళ్ళు కూడా విఎల్ఎస్ఐ సైడ్ రావచ్చు. నేను ట్రైనింగ్ తీసుకుంది అయితే మాస్టర్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ఆఫ్ సిలికాన్ సిస్టమ్ హైదరాబాద్లో ఉంది. 3 months ట్రైనింగ్ ఇస్తారు. తర్వాత అందులోనే ప్లేస్మెంట్ అంటే మన పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ బట్టి వాళ్ళు ప్లేస్ చేసుకుంటారు స్టూడెంట్స్ని. అందులోనే రాకున్నా పర్లేదు, కాకపోతే మనకు ట్రైన్ అయ్యి ఉంటే చాలు, ఎక్కడైనా ఆపర్చునిటీస్ అయితే ఉంటాయి మ్యాక్సిమం. దీనికి కావాల్సింది ఫస్ట్ అయితే ఎంఎస్సి ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్లో ఫస్ట్ బేసిక్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్, డిజిటల్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్, ఎనలాగ్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్ లైక్ అలా ఉండాలి బేసిక్స్ ఫస్ట్ అయితే ఇందులో ఎంటర్ అవ్వాలంటే.
Yeah, I think we
MSc
have two raised hands. Shiva Srinivas, Anna, any question or any
question? Madhu, good morning. Congratulations.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
మీరు 3 months కోర్స్ తీసుకున్నారు కదా VLSI. ఫీ స్ట్రక్చర్ ఎంత?
Yes, sir.
ఫీజ్ ఏంటి? ఫీజు
ఫీ వచ్చేసి 85,000 సార్ ఫర్ 3 months.
ఓకే, ఫర్ 3 months 85,000. ఓకే ఓకే.
Yes,
మీరు
sir.
ఏ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ తీసుకున్నారో సరిగా వినిపించలేదు నాకు. ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ పేరు చెప్పండి.
ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ఆఫ్ సిలికాన్ సిస్టమ్. మాస్టర్
Institute
ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్
of-
ఆఫ్ సిలికాన్ సిస్టమ్ సార్.
ఏంటి మాషిప్?
ఎస్ సార్, ఎస్ సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే. ఎక్కడ ఉంది? హైదరాబాద్లో?
మాదాపూర్ సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే. ఇంకా 85,000 సింగిల్ పేమెంట్ ఇన్స్టాల్మెంట్స్ ఉన్నాయా?
నా ఇన్స్టాల్మెంట్స్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి సార్, 3 installments.
ఓకే. దే హ్యావ్ చార్జ్డ్ యూ ఫర్ జాబ్ యాజ్ వెల్ ఆర్ ఓన్లీ ఫర్ కోర్స్ కాదు? కన్సల్టెన్సీ అంటే ఐ మీన్ ప్లేస్మెంట్ కూడా చార్జ్
100% జాబ్. ఎస్ సార్, 100% జాబ్ అయితే ప్లేస్మెంట్ లేదు సార్. వాళ్ళు ఎలా అంటే మన పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ బట్టి హైర్ చేసుకుంటారు సార్.
ఓకే.
ఎస్ సార్.
ఏంటి డ్యూరేషన్ ఏంటి కోర్స్‌ది పర్ డే?
3 మంత్స్ సార్.
3 మంత్స్. రోజుకి ఎన్ని అవర్స్?
రోజుకి మార్నింగ్ 9 టు నైట్ 8 అలా అవుతుంది సార్.
ఓహ్! సాలిడ్ ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ 10 అవర్స్ సాలిడ్‌గా.
ఎస్ సార్. ఇంకా
సూపర్.
మనం
ఓకే.
హార్డ్ వర్క్ 7 టు మార్నింగ్ 7 టు ఈవినింగ్ 9, 10 అలా అవుతుంది సార్ ల్యాబ్‌లో రోజు
ఓకే.
వర్క్
ఓకే.
అవ్వకపోతే.
ఓహో! ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు స్టూడెంట్స్ బ్యాచ్‌కి?
మా బ్యాచ్ వచ్చేసి 35 మెంబర్స్‌తో రన్ అయింది సార్. ఇది 13th బ్యాచ్
ఓకే.
సార్ అందులో.
ఓకే. సో
ఎస్ సార్.
సైమల్టేనియస్‌గా బ్యాచెస్ అవుతాయా? లేకపోతే సి వన్ బ్యాచ్
ఎస్
3
సార్.
మంత్స్‌లో?
6 మంత్స్‌కి ఒకసారి బ్యాచ్ అనేది స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది సార్ ఐఎస్ఎస్‌లో.
ఓకే. 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 జాయినింగ్ ఫార్మాలిటీస్ ఏంటి?
జాయినింగ్ వచ్చేసి ఫస్ట్ ఇందులో జాయిన్ అవ్వాలంటే ఫస్ట్ రిటన్ టెస్ట్ ఉంటుంది సార్.
ఓకే.
అందులో షార్ట్ లిస్ట్ అయిన వాళ్ళు తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ఇంటర్వ్యూ కండక్ట్ చేస్తారు సార్.
ఓకే.
ఇంటర్వ్యూ కండక్ట్ చేసిన
రిటన్ టెస్ట్
తర్వాత
గో హెడ్.
ఇంటర్వ్యూ కండక్ట్ చేసిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ షార్ట్ లిస్ట్ చేస్తారు సార్ అందులో. ఆ షార్ట్
ఓకే.
లిస్ట్ అయిన వాళ్ళకి సీట్ అనేది కన్ఫర్మ్ అవుతుంది సార్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్‌లో.
ఈ రిటన్ టెస్ట్ ఎవ్రీ 6 మంత్సా? లేకపోతే ఎట్లా ఉంటుంది?
ఎస్ సార్. ఎస్ సార్.
ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ ఏంటి?
ఎవ్రీ 6 మంత్స్ స్టార్ట్ అయ్యే న్యూ బ్యాచ్ సార్.
ఓకే. ఓకే. ఎవ్రీ 6 మంత్స్. ఏ మంత్స్‌లో?
సార్
ఏ మంత్స్? జాన్ అండ్ జూలైయా?
మా బ్యాచ్ డిసెంబర్‌లో 25 అలా అయిపోయింది సార్. ఇప్పుడు కొత్త బ్యాచ్
ఓకే.
వచ్చే
ఓకే.
వరకి మార్చ్ అలా స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది సార్.
ఓకే.
మార్చి,
ఇంకా
ఏప్రిల్ ఆ టైంలో.
ఓకే. ఎగ్జామ్ సిలబస్ మొత్తం పోస్ట్ గ్రాడ్యుయేషన్ లెవెలేనా?
ఎస్ సార్. ఎస్ సార్. డిగ్రీ లెవెల్ టు పీజీ.
ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్.
ఎస్ సార్.
ఓకే. ఓకే.
ఈ
థాంక్ యూ.
ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్
థాంక్ యూ
చేసినా పర్లేదు సార్. పీజీనే ఉండాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. డిగ్రీలో కూడా ఉంటే సరిపోతుంది సార్ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్స్.
ఓకే. ఓకే. సో మీ క్లాస్‌లో మీ బ్యాచ్‌మేట్స్ ఎంతమంది బీటెక్ వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారు? ఎంతమంది ఎంఎస్‌సి వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారు?
ఎంఎస్సీ వాళ్ళు నియర్లీ నేను ఒక్కనే సార్. మొత్తం బీటెక్,
ఓకే. ఓహ్!
ఎంటెక్.
సూపర్.
ఎస్ సార్.
ఓకే. సో ద టఫ్ కాంపిటీషన్ యూ హాడ్. గుడ్.
ఎస్ సార్.
కంగ్రాచులేషన్స్. ఆల్ ది బెస్ట్ మధు.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Sir, Shiva sir, I would like to add a few points
Of
here.
course.
VLSA ది సార్ ఇదేంటంటే అది 6 months కోర్స్ బేసిక్ గా. సో 4 months కోర్స్ అవ్వగానే వాళ్ళే ఆ కంపెనీ వాళ్ళే ఎవరైతే వీళ్ళు ట్రైనింగ్ ఇస్తున్నారో ఈ స్టూడెంట్స్ రెజ్యూమ్స్ అన్ని కంపెనీస్ కి పంపిస్తుంటారు సార్ అప్పుడే. సో వాళ్ళకి నచ్చిన కంపెనీస్ ఇంకా వాళ్ళని హైర్ చేసుకోవడం మొదలు పెడతాయి. సో మోస్ట్లీ బై ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ దేర్ కోర్స్ దే విల్ గెట్ ద జాబ్స్. అండ్ దెర్ ఆర్ సెవరల్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్ సార్ విచ్ ఆర్ ఆఫరింగ్ దిస్ VLSI. ఆ క్వాలిటీని బట్టి ఉంటుంది సార్. కొద్దిమంది లైక్ సుమేధ అని ఒకటి ఉంది సార్, దట్ ఈస్ వెల్ నోన్. అలాంటి వాళ్ళు మొత్తం ఆల్మోస్ట్ 100% ప్లేస్మెంట్ ఇస్తున్నారు. అండ్ ఇంకొన్ని ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్ ఏమో టాప్ 70%, టాప్ 50% అలా గ్యారంటీ ఇస్తున్నారు. ఇట్స్ లైక్ ఫుల్ టైమ్ కోర్స్. అండ్ మధుకు కూడా వాళ్ళు అక్కడ ఉన్నప్పుడే ఏదైతే కంపెనీలో తను చేశాడు నేర్చుకున్నాడో వాళ్ళే ఆఫర్ చేశారు. బట్ అమౌంట్ ఈస్ లెస్. దాన్ని అలానే హోల్డ్ లో పెట్టి ఇమ్మీడియట్ గా తను విత్ ఇన్ 1 week ఇంకో కంపెనీలో అప్లై చేశాడు. అండ్ దేర్ హీ గాట్ బెటర్ సాలరీ.
ఎస్ సార్.
ఓకే. ఓకే.
బట్ ఇది ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్ కనుక మంచిదైతే అసలు ఆ 1 lakh ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయడం హ్యాపీగా ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయొచ్చు సార్. విత్ ఇన్ 1 year లో ఈజీగా మనీ వచ్చేస్తాయి.
ఎస్ సార్.
ఓకే పవన్. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. అండ్ సత్య, ఈ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ గురించి అడిగావు కదా. సో ఈ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ చేయడానికి ఏంటంటే ఒకటి, ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఆల్రెడీ యూనివర్సిటీలో కనుక ఉంటే ఓకే, యూనివర్సిటీలో ఉంటే యూ కెన్ అప్రోచ్ అవర్ ఫ్యాకల్టీ. సో మన ప్రొఫెసర్స్ ఉన్నారు కదా, వాళ్ళని అప్రోచ్ అయ్యి మీరు వాళ్ళ దగ్గరే చేయొచ్చు. లేదా ఇంకొకటి ఏంటంటే ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు డూ ఇన్ ఎనీ DRDO ల్యాబ్, మన హెచ్ఓడి సార్ దగ్గర నుంచి ఒక లెటర్ తీసుకొని మీరు ఆ DRDOలో ఎవరైనా మీకు తెలిసిన సైంటిస్టులు ఎవరైనా ఉంటే వాళ్ళని అప్రోచ్ అవ్వచ్చు. ఒకవేళ నువ్వు హైదరాబాద్ DRDOలో కనుక చేయాలనుకుంటే బట్ నీది ఆల్రెడీ అయిపోయింది అనుకుంటా పీజీ. సో నువ్వు ఇప్పుడు ఇండివిజువల్ గానే వెళ్ళాల్సి ఉంటుంది. సో ఇండివిజువల్ గా వెళ్ళాలంటే దట్ ఈస్ లిటిల్ బిట్ టఫ్ టు గో టు DRDO. బట్ యూ కెన్ ట్రై ఇన్ అవర్ డిపార్ట్మెంట్. ఓయిలో ట్రై చేయొచ్చు. యూ కెన్ అప్రోచ్ ద ప్రొఫెసర్స్ ఇన్ సెంట్రల్ యూనివర్సిటీ. నీకు ఏ ఏరియాలోనైనా ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉందనుకో, ఆ ఏరియాలో వర్క్ చేసే ప్రొఫెసర్స్ ని చూస్ చేసుకో. యూ కెన్ కాంటాక్ట్ దెమ్. సో వాళ్ళు ఇండివిజువల్ గా నీకు ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ ఇచ్చే అవకాశం ఉంది. ఒకవేళ నీకు ఎక్కడ అంటే నీకు విత్ ఇన్ నువ్వు అనుకున్న టైంలో నువ్వు అనుకున్న ప్లేస్ లో నీకు దొరకకపోతే లాస్ట్ ఆప్షన్ గా నా దగ్గరికి రా, నేను చేపిస్తాను. సో నేను ఆల్రెడీ మా కాలేజీలో 8 members లాస్ట్ మార్చ్ నుంచి ఇప్పుడు డిసెంబర్ వరకు ఆల్రెడీ దాంట్లో 8 మంది ఆల్రెడీ PhD అడ్మిషన్స్, 8 మంది PhD అడ్మిషన్స్ వచ్చేసాయి. అండ్ ఇంకొక ఇద్దరు దే ఆర్ అప్లయింగ్ ఫర్ అబ్రాడ్, వాళ్ళు బయటనే చేద్దామని ఉన్నారు. సో నువ్వు యూ కెన్ ఎక్స్ప్లోర్ దీస్ థింగ్స్. యూ కెన్ టాక్ టు అవర్ ప్రొఫెసర్స్ ఫస్ట్. Satya, is it okay?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Right.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay.
Sir,
Okay, please.
excuse me, sir. Sorry for the interruption.
It's okay. Carry on,
Actually,
sir.
yeah, sir, MSc Tirupati is a project. How important it would be during PhD admission, sir?
Yes, మంచి
How
క్వశ్చన్
crucial
సత్య.
it will be?
ఎస్ నేను మంచి క్వశ్చన్. నేను ఆ పాయింట్ చెప్దాం అనుకున్నాను, మర్చిపోయాను. సో యాక్చువల్ ఇక్కడ ఏం జరుగుతుందంటే, ఎక్సెప్ట్ నాకు తెలిసి మన దగ్గర మన తెలంగాణలో తప్పిస్తే మిగతా అన్ని స్టేట్స్ లో అండ్ మోస్ట్లీ అన్ని సెంట్రల్ యూనివర్సిటీస్ అండ్ స్టేట్ యూనివర్సిటీస్ లో 4th సెమిస్టర్ లో ప్రాజెక్ట్ మ్యాండేటరీ. వాళ్ళకు ప్రాజెక్ట్ కంపల్సరీ చేయాలి. బీటెక్ లో లాగానే బీటెక్ లో వాళ్ళకి ఫైనల్ సెమిస్టర్ లో 4-2 లో వాళ్ళకు ప్రాజెక్ట్ చేయాల్సి ఉంటుంది. అలాగే ఎంఎస్సి ఫైనల్ సెమిస్టర్ లో కూడా అన్ని ఇన్స్టిట్యూషన్స్ లలో ప్రాజెక్ట్ చేయడం అనేది మ్యాండేటరీ. దానివల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే మన వాళ్ళు పిహెచ్డి ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ వరకు వెళ్తున్నారు, బట్ ఈ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ లేకపోవడం వల్ల వాళ్ళు ఇంటర్వ్యూ క్లియర్ చేయలేకపోతున్నారు. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద ప్రాబ్లమ్ స్టూడెంట్స్ ఆర్ ఫేసింగ్. యాక్చువల్గా ఆ ఇంటెన్షన్ తోటే వి స్టార్టెడ్ దీస్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్. సో ఇప్పుడు ఓన్లీ ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్ చేయడం వల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే, నువ్వు రిటర్న్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ లెట్ us స్టార్ట్ విత్ ప్రైవేట్ యూనివర్సిటీస్. అక్కడ ఏంటంటే దే విల్ కండక్ట్ ఎగ్జామ్. సో ఎగ్జామ్ మనం ఈజీగా క్లియర్ చేసుకోగలుగుతాం, అదేం పెద్ద విషయం కాదు, జస్ట్ బేసిక్స్ ఉంటాయి అంతే. బట్ నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్ ఇంటర్వ్యూ ఉంటుంది. ఇంటర్వ్యూలో ఏంటంటే దే విల్ ఆస్క్ యూ టు ప్రెజెంట్ యువర్ వర్క్. అదేంటి, అది నువ్వు చేసిన వరకైనా పర్వాలేదు, లేదా నువ్వు చేయాలనుకుంటున్న వరకైనా పర్వాలేదు. సో నువ్వు ఏదో చేస్తాను, అది చేస్తాను, ఇది చేస్తాను అని చెప్పి ఊరికే నెట్లో నుంచి డేటా తీసుకొచ్చి ప్రెజెంట్ చేసిన దానికంటే, నేను ఆల్రెడీ వర్క్ చేశాను సార్, నాకు ఆల్రెడీ రీసెర్చ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉంది, ఐ డిడ్ దిస్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ అండ్ దిస్ ఇస్ మై రిపోర్ట్, దీస్ ఆర్ మై రిజల్ట్స్. నేను దీని నుంచి ఒక ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఒక రీసెర్చ్ ఆర్టికల్ కూడా నేను రాశాను. సో ఆ ఆర్టికల్ వల్ల నీకు ఆర్టికల్ వల్ల నీకు చాలా అడ్వాంటేజ్ అవుతుంది. సో అప్పుడు ఆ ఫ్యాకల్టీ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే, ఏమీ రాని వాడిని తీసుకొని నేను అన్ని నేర్పించడం కంటే, ఆల్రెడీ వీడికి ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉంది, డేటా అనాలిసిస్ చేయగలడు, అండ్ హీ కెన్ రైట్ ఏ రిపోర్ట్, మేక్ ఏ పేపర్. సో ఈ ఒపీనియన్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఆ ప్రొఫెసర్ జాబ్ ఈజీ అవుతుంది. సో కాబట్టి అలా ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళని వాళ్ళు ప్రిఫర్ చేస్తున్నారు.
Satya, is it clear?
అండ్
Yes, sir.
ఇక్కడ ఉన్నారు ప్రాజెక్ట్ చేసిన వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారు, దే విల్ షేర్, ఐ థింక్
Yeah. So Balganesh,
దే విల్
your
షేర్
query,
దేర్
please.
ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఆల్సో.
I don't have any queries, sir, but I need to share my experience how I
Okay.
get the admissions. So basically, I'm an average student. I have done MSc in Usmania University, 18 to 20 batch with 62 percentile. Then after I came to know, to get PhD admission, as Satyavardhan raised one query, the project should be there. But unfortunately, our Usmania University has not offering the project in 4th semesters. For my case, I have cleared my NET and GATE. Even though I clear NET and GATE, I couldn't able to get admissions like NITs, IITs. I have given more than 10 interviews. I'm clearing written test and clearing shortlisting for interview, but couldn't able to get the admissions. The main default is in interview. Mostly they are asking questions on depending on the project work only. Why? Because you are applying for those institutes, you are good enough for a subject. You are clearing GATE, NET, and first written test you also clear. They won't ask in interview again what are quantum mechanics basics, all these things. So for going to research, you need to know some synthesis methods, all these things, XRD analysis, some basics at least you know. So the people who are listening now, maybe first year, second year students are in webinar now. So please contact your HOD. And in your universities, many scholars are doing research now. You can ask those scholars I will join under you for a few months. I will learn some scientific techniques, characterizations, all these things. At least you came to know some knowledge about the research. It will help in your interview. It will surely get admissions. After I am giving 10 interviews, I'm joined under the Pawan sir. I have done project work and published a conference paper also. So that boost me to got admission in this Central University. So I couldn't able to clear this IIIT interview also, but now I'm in Central University. The big difference will came under from this project work only, and that paper only, project work paper. So I suggest to every student, you can ask your guides, your department. If you are familiar with some professors in your department, go to the lab and ask him. You can work for 3-4 months. You will get to know all these things about the project, how they are doing, what they are doing. This research will be, if you are aiming to IITs, all these things, you need to compete with all IIT students and NIT students. They are good enough for all areas. They're good at studies, they are good at research, they have done project. But our case, our Usman University students are not good at research level. Maybe they study, they clear net gate exams, but they don't know the research what is going on. So I suggest the juniors to please do a project work, and you can make a group who are interested in PhD. So you can ask your dean and take a letter, and you can go to our this NGRA also now near to our university. They will consider your queries. Students will come and raise a petition. These things are, they will consider, at least the students are interested. And we have DRDO labs here and 2-3 labs in Hyderabad. So if you take one letter from, and a group of people go and contact those institutes, they will provide internships also. So that internships works will also help to you to get PhDs in good at the higher level institutions. So apart from the clearing and taking coaching, you can focus on these things also. So that is what I'm going to share.
Okay. Thanks, Balganesh, for your experience. So, Abdul, over to you.
And mainly
Share
thank
your
you to
experience
Pawan
and-
sir. Because of you, I'm here. Thank you.
So yeah,
Thank you, Pawan. You are a superstar, Pawan. Okay. So, Abdul, yeah, it's your time.
thank you. Good morning, alumni and all my juniors. So this webinar is about how PhD opportunities in India. So as Pawan sir said, discussed what are the institutes and how they take. So I'm going to share my experience. What can I add to that? So my experience from MSc, what I have done, and how I have approached PhD applications and these things. So in basically after, like, I'll start from MSc if the time constraint is okay. So I'll start from MSc. I'll complete in 10 minutes maybe maximum. So in my MSc when I joined, so I was not having any idea what to do further. So I just completed my BSc, and like many of us have joined, I've joined MSc with nothing, not knowing what to do after that. So what getting seeing things after. Okay, this can be done, this can be done. So many other things like government jobs and all these things were coming into mind, and I was going into all the streams. So yeah, but streamlining, going into thinking about one thing. So in my MSc, our alumni back then, so when there was no COVID and thing, they had their what you can call their meet. So they have taken they conducted a workshop in MSc. So that helped me a lot. So maybe other students also, that helped me a lot, because I got contact with all the alumni, and I got doubts what they are working, where they are doing, and our alumni is so good that they're in all fields. So they're so diverse. So you can ask each and everyone what you're doing and how you're going. So after discussing these things, and after contacting Pawan sir also, as all my friends were already know Pawan sir. I got to know Pawan sir because he's in Hyderabad, so I frequently we meet. After that, I got to see he has done PhD, so I got interested in PhD, and I started reading the subject more. In MSc, it was like just did for the semester and first semester, that was that. But after getting to know this, so I started reading more than just what for the exams. So I started developing the interest towards PhD, and so that helped me. That main catalyst was the meeting. That what. So any catalyst was the main. What was that? That workshop that was conducted, that was the main catalyst for my interest towards PhD and this thing. So I got interest and I was searching for opportunities, what can be done. I got to, as many of you have discussed here, so internships. In my MSc also I have tried for internships. So in summer programs, many of the summer programs will be there in maybe May or after March, May, after the first year, you can apply to those summer internships programs will be there. All major institutions will have some programs, so you can apply that. But I have applied also. In my experience also I have applied. So they will ask for what is your rankings, 10 grades, 10 inter. They'll ask all the grades and they'll evaluate you. But being an above student, just 70, 75. So I was not able to get into those, but I kept applying, but okay. So after that, again, in the alumni group, we had a chat, and last year, I think in my MSc also, yes. So we had a meeting about how to approach, and then I got to know we have to clear for GATE or NET to get PhD here. So started coaching for that, UV. So that was near from Osmania. So you get UV coaching, and in my third semester itself, I have gone for coaching. But that time I couldn't clear because the semester exam and the CSR exam was at the same time, so couldn't proper concentrate on both. But after again MSc, COVID struck, so completely gone off. Self preparation and it was a tough time in the COVID because not knowing what to do, and it was a very tough time. But again, our alumni helped up, and again a webinar was conducted on PhD opportunities and abroad, and what to do, what you have to. Or basics we have to do in MSc and afterwards to get abroad PhDs. So we have tried that, and I cleared GATE this 2021. So after clearing GATE, I was like, what to do? How can I apply? So I've applied for again projects otherwise, but that didn't materialize. So what from our resources, from whatever I had at that time. So I contact Pawan Kumar sir, and we all students, me, Bala Ganesh, who all are doing PhD now, my batchmates, we all have done project under Pawan Kumar sir. It's really so it helped me. It helped us a lot doing the project, and we got to know the synthesis, how we have synthesis and materials and all these things. So PhD basics, the PhD orientation, in what we lack in Osmania University or state level universities is PhD orientation. So our MSc is just like we have cleared. It will be just with BSc. We have given exams in the semester, and that is it. So you can get an MSc degree. But in other institutes and higher level institutes, NITs and IITs, what happens is, as sir said again, there will be a project in the first semester. So you will get to know about the PhD aspects. So what is research and how you continue on. These all get to know in the MSc itself. And unfortunately for Osmania, we don't have that. So yes, but afterwards, in whatever resources we had, we did a project. And after clearing GATE also, my rank was very much low. It's too low. So I was devastated. I couldn't get. I thought I will not get into NITs or in IITs or here. So, but I still started applying, and I got to know that while applying to many institutes, I got to know about this project. What I was doing, I was simultaneously doing project here. So this will play a major role in deciding, because I'll show you some documents if it is okay. How I applied and what all they asked.
Continue. Whatever is helpful, continue to share.
Okay.
Uh,
So while applying to IIT Indore, so this is basic.
1 second, Aziz. Yeah, Anach,
Yeah, Aziz, I have
your
a question.
question.
Later on, we might
Yes,
take it
sir.
coming. Yeah, you said you have taken coaching in UV, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's the fee structure presently in UV?
While we were doing, I think 27 or 30,000, sir,
Okay,
and no installment, still no installment. We have to pay upfront.
okay. Yeah, that's the question. That's everything. That's it. Thank you.
Sir, in UV it is around 40,000, sir. They're offering in online also now.
Okay, online also, online కూడా సేమ్ ఫీజా 40?
సేమ్ ఫీ సార్. ఆఫ్లైన్ అంటే మొన్నటి వరకు ఆఫ్లైన్ నడిచింది, బట్ ఇప్పుడు ఆన్లైన్ ఆఫ్లైన్ అనే దాంట్లో డౌట్ లో ఉన్నారు. బట్ ఆన్లైన్ అయితే 100% ఉంది సార్.
ఓకే ఓకే
ఇట్స్ అరౌండ్ 40-45,000, బట్ ల్యాప్టాప్ ఉండాలంటున్నారు.
ఓకే
Yeah.
ఓకే థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Will I continue?
Yeah, sure.
So is the PDF visible? Is what I have shown you?
Yeah, it is visible. It is visible.
Okay. So this is how application for any institute will. So basic details will be there, and what your ranks and what your qualifications, and they will ask these things. And the main thing here, research proposal. So here, this is what may differentiates you from all other students, because if you are applying for any IIT or IIT, all the students will have cleared NET or GATE or any exams, because that's the basic qualification. If you have not cleared NET or GATE, they will not even consider your application. So out of those applications, what makes you stand out is this research proposal that what here is. And if you have any applications, yeah, so you have to write what you want to do in further, and what you want to do in research. So this is a small thing I have written. So this, I could not even think of writing this if not for the project, because whatever I have written here, just the project. What I have done in project, we have this multiferroic materials we have prepared in. So that's what I have written. So that by reading research papers in that, I got to know, okay, this is the area we can work, and this is what can think. So I have applied, I have write research proposal as to that. So yeah, these are one thing. Though this research proposal, if it is good, though this will okay, what is that? This will be a thing that will differ you from all other applications. If it is good, and then if your grades and if your ranks are not good also, they will take you, because you have if you format this really well, then they'll see that, okay, this guy has some research experience, this guy knows what to do, so we can take. So that will be a factor. And this is the basic application. And in some more institutes, they ask a statement of purpose. So this is different from research proposal. This is just like so there will be 3 or 4 paragraphs based upon you. So first paragraph will be why you are interested to do research, and why you want to do research after MSc, why you want to go into research. So that will be the basic paragraph. First paragraph will be, and then your credibility is what you are doing. So if you have doing, I have done a project, so I have listed that I have done a project like this. So again, after this, what you have done, what your grades, this will be thing. And after that, so this is again a main paragraph that standouts, that makes you stand out. So this is again research interest and what you want to do in that area. So this can be, as I have done projects, so I have written about the project here. If not, you can even list out the details of your ranks and whatever achievements you have, you can list out here in this second paragraph. So in third paragraph here, so what research you want to go into the institute, what research you want to do, and how you're gonna see while writing these statement of purpose while writing this statement of purpose or this applications, one thing you're going to consider is the research you're writing up here. Are professors working in that field, in that institute? while applying for institutes, this one thing you have to see. So you may have one area where you want to go further, you want to research, and that area may not be in the institute. So what you will do? So at that time they'll allot you to some professor. But if you are clear, if you are not clear, you can apply. If you only want NIT or IIT, so and then you can select the research area. So that's again you can apply to all. So as I've done, I didn't have any idea what to do, but I applied. So if you have a particular idea, so this topic is what I want to do research. This field, maybe not topic, it's this field. So that you can apply to those in specific institutes. So as I've seen, I have written about my interest in nuclear physics, and again what the so that what I have written, and why you want to do research in NIT Warangal. So that your research interest is stated in one paragraph, and this is again one more major paragraph that stands out. This is why you want to do in that particular institute. So this research area will be another institutes also, and you can go and work in other institutes. But why you want to do in particular institute, this one paragraph also is very important. So I think this will also be the standout point. In some of the institutes I have applied to, I think 25, 30, all the institutes that I can think of I have applied. In some of the institutes, like in NISER Bhubaneswar here, so they will ask for a letter of reference from your college institute professor, or where you have done research. They will ask a letter of reference, and you have to get this kind of thing. So these are the things that while applying you need to take care of. When after clearing GATE and NET, when you are applying for PhD applications, so you will be confused again. So clearing GATE and NET will be one thing, and while applying, what to do, what to write, and how to apply, this again another major factor. So if you have particular field interest, then you can see what research institutes are there applying in working in that area. So you can apply to those. Otherwise, like basically NITs or IITs you can apply. And as I've said, in applications in major institutes, so all the details will be filled, and the research proposal. So as I've said, that research proposal will be major thing. And so this writing the research proposal. So if you do not have any background in research, like any project or something, so you cannot frame it very well. You'll be just writing whatever is thing. But if you have a prior project, and I was fortunate enough to do project in a Pawan sir, so that was really, really helpful. And alumni also, helped me a lot. Again, in some of the this is a resume. So I have sent even not just to these notifications. As the sir said, twice a year there will be notifications. So not just through notifications, you can even directly contact a professor and talk about what your research interest is, and directly you can contact them. And when the notification comes, you can apply, and directly, because you have already talked to the professor, so if you have performed well in the interview and written exam and interview, so they'll take you. So while applying for one of things, so your resume, you should send your resume. So this also you can prepare. So as I said here, in trainings responsibilities, so in trainings I have origin, so basics. In this also, this will be completely blank if I have not done the project. So in here I've learned the project origin and foolproof, and see here also I've done the project. So these are the things while applying for any PhD. So these are the things that will be very helpful for you. So anything, any doubts or anything, so you can ask. Voice is low. Okay.
Your voice is okay for me. Maybe Madhusudan, it might be related to your speaker. Okay. Any questions for Aziz? It's a good journey, Aziz. Glad that actually alumni could help. And in 2019, when we started the project level exhibition at the university level, we wanted to do it every alternate year so that we cover all the batches. The first, maybe it might be the first year in one, or else it might be the second year in the one, but at least we'll be able to cover all the batches. And last year, we wanted to do a career guidance workshop. We were actually planning about it, but COVID has stuck and we had to work on the webinar structure. So whoever are feeling that we don't have the project exhibition like we did in 2019, it is because of how the times are in. So we have to evolve and we have to take it as a challenge on what we can do with the times that we are in. So there is always a roadblock where even after completing your MSc or even you're doing in research, there will be a roadblocks and you have to come over those. So all the people that you have talked about now, or whom you may not even know, they have crossed all those hurdles. So you have to do that. And then in one of the comment that I had, or one of the query I might have had if I was pursuing masters and even in my first semester or second semester and in the university, and if my family can't actually volunteer or actually sponsor me 40,000 to go to institutions, then there are many students in my batch, obviously you might know it, they take tuitions, and now you can take online tuitions. There are many places where you can take online tuitions and you can earn, and then you can actually pay for it for the UV Academy or any other academies. So money is not a factor. As long as you're ready to actually jump and then actually take all the opportunities that are available, money is not a constraint. Only thing is you're visible. Yes, Monica, your query. Monica, you're on mute if you have a query.
And
Okay, so
one thing I like to add here, not just these webinars are very helpful, not just these webinars and the projects and the alumni group. I know it gets frustrating because I'll ask too many questions, but every time I ask something, every time it may be like basic or so every time they have responded and every time they helped us. And thank you very much, sir.
You have to keep on asking. The more questions we have, because some people have the same question but they won't ask. So your questions are helping others. Yeah. Okay. So Sushmita, your turn. Take the mic. Share your experiences.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sushmita. Hello. Yeah. I'm currently doing my PhD in TIFR Hyderabad. So Pawan sir gave an excellent presentation about all the institutes that are giving, but he missed out on TIFR. So I'll just give some information about it. So TIFR has many institutes, but based on physics, there are 3. One is in TIFR Mumbai, which is the original institute. There are 2 more institutes that give research, like where you can do research in physics. One of them is International Center for Theoretical Sciences. It is in Bangalore, ICTS. And the other one is Center for Interdisciplinary Sciences, which is in Hyderabad. So in all of them, you can do research in physics. There is also NCBS, which is Center for Biological Sciences, which is in Bangalore as well. But there you can do in biological physics. In TIFR Mumbai, you can apply through JEST. ICTS, you can apply through GATE and JEST. And Center for Interdisciplinary Sciences, you can apply through GATE, JEST, even NET. You can apply through all of these places. And a few more things that I wanted to just, almost everything was covered by Abdul, who gave a very insightful experience. He told his experience, and I'm pretty sure it was very helpful for most of the new students. Even what Madhu and Balaganesh said, they also said very similar things, and I'm pretty sure they covered most of the things. I'll just add a few more things. So another thing I wanted to add, as Abdul said, that you have to be specific to the research. You can't add something that is not being taught in the institute. One of the things that I have also done this mistake, and I'm pretty sure if you're applying for institutes, you might do it. One thing you do is in the interview, you might say that my interest is in so and so subject, but you might not be actually so good at it. And when you say I am good at so and so subject, but you just know what is the definition and maybe just a few basic things, and they go on asking you for a very difficult thing, it really lands you in trouble. And even though you might be better at some other subjects, you might just land up in trouble. So the best thing is, whatever you are good at, you have to write that. You can't say, even if you might have interest in some other subject, but in order to clear the interviews and get into that institute, you might have to make a compromise with your interest and your whatever you're good at. So, and it's not like you might get an opportunity to work at whatever you're good at, or you might study right now, you might take some time and you may become good at that subject. But just keeping your interest as the major point cannot work out in the long run. You have to be good at it as well. So I hope this was a useful thing. And one more thing I want to add is, on one of the things that people have suggested in this webinar is to apply for projects. And you can obviously, the best thing right now is to do your project in the university itself, because during COVID, anyway, there are restrictions and many institutes are right now not really open to visitors. And the other way you can apply for projects is you can directly write to all the professors and you can approach them. And one of the strategies that you can use is to write to relatively new people who might not have so much experience, but the thing is, they might actually have the time to give to you to make sure that you learn whatever you're doing. Sometimes what happens is, you might go to a very huge professor, you might apply for them, but the thing is, they may not have direct correspondence with you. This is fine, because usually all labs have many students and you will definitely gain some knowledge. It's not like you won't learn. But the thing is, what happens is, when you're applying for some other university abroad or something, and whoever you're talking to the most will write you the letter of reference. So that really plays into the picture. So that is what I wanted to add. And yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Sushmita,
thank
I
you,
think
Susmita.
you have done project, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Susmita, thank you. Can you share other institution which you told about, the TIFR? Yeah, as you said, I missed those two institutions. I will add those
Yeah,
things in the PPT. That will be useful for the next
yeah,
students.
yeah. I will.
Presently, which TFR you are doing PhD?
I'm doing in Center for Interdisciplinary Sciences. It's beside HCU only.
Oh, okay, okay. It's near the HC.
In Hyderabad.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. It's near to my house. Sushmita, I think in MSc only you have done a project other than in Usmania, right?
Yeah. I have also done a project I have done a summer project. I have done it in JNCSR. And as Abdul said initially, that project really plays into role, because if you're saying
Yes.
I'm applying in so and so institute for this and this research, and you have a project which shows you have worked in it, that shows that you are actually working in that field and you are interested in that. So yeah.
Okay. Balganesh.
Can I share a PPT on fellowships?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah. While you're sharing that, Satya, do you have any questions?
Sir, I posted in chat box.
Okay. Yeah, you're referring to actually. I think that question is already answered, right? Yes, Balkanesh, we can see your screen, but can't hear you.
Balaganesh, you muted your mic. Please unmute your
Ganesh,
mic.
mute. You have muted, yeah.
Yes, I'm audible
Yes,
now?
you are
Yeah.
audible.
Now it is audible.
As Pawan sir mentioned that the CSR fellowship will be 31,000 plus 24,000, 24% HRA. So it's around, you will get 38.5 thousand actually. This is if you clear the CSR net exam. So not on the, this is fellowship not for the net candidates, only for JRF candidates. And there is a fellowship for DST student, DST fellowship. This is for the fellowship for the university top 2 rankers. Any university in India which have 2 ranks per every academic year. So those 2 rank holders will get this fellowship, and this fellowship same as the CSR amount. And every institute have, some institutes have less funding. So yet they are giving some fellowship for students. So that is called institute fellowship. And for that institute fellowship, they will keep some eligibility criteria on their academic levels. So mostly the gate score is they're asking for institute fellowship, and that fellowship also mostly all central universities, IITs, NITs, and government sector institutes all are funding same this institute fellowship. And this is also for JRF amount also. And I'm focusing on these areas mainly. So this is the NFST fellowship for National Fellowship for Scheduled Tribes for ST students. So this fellowship will get even you are not clearing net or gate. So you will get this fellowship amount. So for this you need to get a PhD admission in any university. In any university you need to get a PhD admission. So you can clear exam, but you are not getting fellowship. So even private universities, you can get less fellowship, 15,000, 20,000. You can apply for these fellowships, and these fellowships will provided by the Ministry of India. The fellowship amount will be the 28,000 plus HRA. So, and annual contingency also available for this year. So for new educational policies, they are giving same as JRF amount. I heard that one, but present now they are paying 28,000 per month. And for ST students also NFSC. This is NFST. This is NFSC. This is also same as and for this one NFST. Total 750 members will be shortlisted for every year. So we need to be in that list, and that list will be out for application after the 4 months. And this for this you need to clear have minimum 7 CGPA in MSc for this fellowship. So they are providing the shortlisting depending on the MSc percentage. So next prestigious fellowship is PMR fellowship. This is Pradhana Mantri Research Fellowship. This is the India's most prestigious fellowship. And you will get around 70,000 per month, and HRA also for 2 years. And next 3 years for SRF, you will get 80 plus thousand, and HRA according to that percentage. And for PMRF, we have 2 entry channels. One is direct entry channel, and next one is lateral entry channel. For direct entry channel, we have the students must have 650 gate score and 8.5 CGPA in MSc level. This is for direct entry channel. While you are joining the PhD, you can directly apply for this direct entry channel if you have 8.5 CGPA in MSc, and if you have 650 gate score in gate score, you can apply. So if you are not having 650 gate score or 8.5 CGPA, yet you are eligible for this PMR fellowship. So for this is called lateral entry. So lateral entry means after you are getting PhD, there will be a coursework in every PhD. So they will give some credits to you in your PhD coursework. So in that coursework, if you score 8.5 CGPA, you are eligible for this fellowship, and you need to write a strong project proposal for this one. So this is the and 1,000 people will be shortlisted every year. and this have twice in a year. So after getting PhD, you can work on coursework, and for this lateral entry channel, a valid GATE score is enough, not the 651, and with a strong project proposal you need to write. And private universities also paying 20 to 30K at average scholarships in India. So mainly focus on the CSR, NET and these things. And if you are not clearing CSR, this NFST, NFSC for scheduled tribes and scheduled caste students also available. And people who are more interested in research, and PMRF also supporting for the 70,000 fellowship. You may apply for this one.
Balaganesh?
Yes.
This PMRF is only for selected institutes, right? IIT.
Yes. And this PMRF is have some selective institutions, so not everyone will apply for that one.
IITs and some
of IITs and NITs also there, and central universities also there.
NITs, is it there?
Yeah. Some NITs are there.
Some NITs, yes. That's all.
Yeah, not every. So while you are going for PhD admissions, you can look this criteria also. If you are selecting some higher institutions, you can look this PMRF fellowship is under that institute, or they're providing or not. So if your institute is eligible for that PMRF, you can go for that institute. Later you can clear that coursework, GATE valid score, you can apply. I suggest that one. So thank you. Any doubts? If you have any doubts, shoot me. I will try to answer.
I would like to add something, not doubts.
Yeah, you can. Actually, this PPT just now I created while the webinar is going on.
So it's a good thing. Yes.
That's why I forget some things.
You just share it in alumni group. Balaji.
Yeah, I can share some these fellowship notifications in alumni also.
Okay. So I would like to add some things. So, so these are for India. If you are in IITs, in government institutes or central institutes, if you want to do PhDs, so GATE and NET, maybe one of the exams should be qualified. Even if you're not qualified, some institutes are taking, but the scholarship is not as thick. But you may not, you know, that's no reason to get discouraged about that. As Pawan sir said, in some institutes, some universities, private universities, even without CSR and even without GATE, they are conducting their own examinations, and after exam and interview, so they'll take you for PhD, and they'll give quite nice scholarships also. So, some of my friends are working in SRM University, recently joined PhD. So they have they are getting like 25, 26 something. So that's a good amount scholarship in private university. So it's not like you have to apply for only IITs or NITs or government institutes. If in GATE scores also, some private universities, as Pawan sir said, there's a university called Shivnada University in Delhi. So if you are interested to go to private university further, you can apply there, and the scholarship is 50,000. So that's a good scholarship. So even with without without PMRF, other than PMRF, all government institutes and these will be only giving you 35 or 30. So in that institute, if you are not getting for IITs or NITs, that means government institutes, you can apply. So that's one thing. And I have applied and got there also, but because I got in government institute NIT, so I have gonna come here. So you can, if you not NITs or IITs, you can apply to private universities. You can see. So basically, you have to, for doing research, you have to do research about the institutes. So what institutes are there, what they're going here, what scholarships are there, how they are gonna, how they're gonna take intake, how it is, and what facilities are there. So these again a research that you have to do before applying, or even while applying. So this is one thing. In interviews, what happens? So as I've said about the application process, in interviews also, So I've given some 5 to 6 interviews. So in some of the interviews, they'll they're directly asked about project. So if you have any project, you have to create a PPT of it, and you have to you have to give a nice presentation, put a presentation of what you have done. So if you're not in a project there, so even you can speculate, you can propose research, what you want to do. Also, you can add in there. But so doing a project helps there. So that's one thing. And it's not like all institutes only doing project. And I've applied for NISA Bhubaneswar, and one thing that happened there, one funny thing. So I was like, I prepared for the project, and any question from the project I can answer, I was like prepared for that. So, but there in the interview, they asked basic quantum mechanics and basics, these things. So I was not expecting those questions at that time. So I was not able to answer that, even though I know the answers, but at that time I was not able to answer because I was not expecting those questions. So it's not like only project is mandatory or compulsory. So some institutes like NISA Bhubaneswar, at my time, they didn't ask any project. So the basics they have asked. So even if project is there, so it will be an additional thing. So it is an additional top up. So if project is not there also, so they'll PhD interviews will be conducted and you will be asked about the basics. So you can, if you perform well there, so you can get. These are the things. And I'll share these PDFs if it is okay. So I'll share this PDF, the application forms, so you can see. And if any doubts about any other things, you can mail me or you can call in the WhatsApp. The number is there. You can mail me or message me in the WhatsApp. I'll respond. Thank you.
Shiva sir, would you like to ask something?
Someone is raised hand.
Shiva sir?
Shiva.
Yeah, Pawan. Rajesh.
Sir, would you like to add something? You raised your hand.
I have a question, Pawan.
Yeah, please.
Actually, we are keeping on discussing about the opportunities and all. I would like to confirm, do we have any present studying students of first and second year from Osmania, or just we are discussing among ourselves?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, sir, I didn't get your question.
Ante Pawan,
Yes, sir, there are students, and we
Yes, sir.
recently got passed out from our department, and there are students who are now in third semester from our department.
Okay.
There are students.
Okay, because I'm able to see 49 participants. At the end of the day, it should not happen that we are discussing only among ourselves. Just I wanted to confirm that's it.
Okay. Yeah, students, if you have any doubts, you're welcome. And Shiva sir, is your presentation? Rajendra, please, you please ask your question.
So thank you. Sir, what do you mean by basics in physics? Like, should I start from 6th class? Should I start from degree, PG? What should I learn to get the basics?
Mainly,
Also-
they will ask degree level, actually.
And also, what is the role of English and computer programming language in the career of physics?
Computer language.
Computer language and also the English, role of English.
So, role of English is for clearing interview. You need to have at least some speaking skills. But while you are doing asking physics, English in PhD, so you need to write your papers, what you have done. So for that, you need to improve your English skills in physics. So if your paper is good enough for high impact factor journals, you need to write in a clear manner so that the reviewer understood your English, what you are saying. So what we are presenting is most important. That's why you need to learn some English communications to write a good paper. And the computer knowledge is So depending on your area, so if you are doing theory, you need to do some computational simulation works on supercomputers, these things. So need to learn some coding, all these things for if you are going for theory area. For experimental, you just need to some small softwares. You will get to know, it will be easy. For theory, you need to code some things. So that you will learn and your seniors will taught you. So that is the part of the computer skills. I hope you got the question answer.
Yeah, I didn't get the information about basics.
Basics, what they ask is mainly what is magnetic dipole. If you are telling that research area, depending on that they will ask. If you are saying that ferrites, so or magnets, I want to do some magnets of that superconductivity area, I'm interested. If you are saying this research in areas, so they will ask. If you are saying superconductivity is my research area, I'm interested in, so they will ask what is the superconductivity, what is a conductor, how the conductivity increase with the temperature, all these small things. So no, they will not ask research level questions in interview. So you need to know at least some basics on that area. Small definitions. What is the magnetic moment alignment while the superconductor, normal conductor, what is happening, these things.
To add something, so as I said, basics.
Yes.
So
If you are saying magnetism, they will ask magnetic moment, or and they will ask some, and you can find the energy of the magnet, all these things also. Some mu epsilon, some formulas is there now.
So in physics, these basics will be hierarchical. So if you have to understand some concepts about MSc in MSc, so if you are asking about PhD, are you?
And for interview, they will ask mostly what is your favorite subjects. So if you are choosing which subject you are choosing, they will ask shoot out of questions. One of the most toughest interview I have given to the IIT Madras, I think. So they asked me to solve the questions in online interview. So they have given some questions. We need to solve these questions. So, and selecting your papers, I have selected quantum mechanics and SSP. So in that area, they will ask, what is your institute syllabus, also these things. So that syllabus, you need to tell, I have done perturbation theory, operators, all these things. So they will ask in that area only. They will take where you are interested and they'll pick questions from there. So while you are giving those, what you have done, preparing, so you need to mention that one. So you don't go to their area. You need to take them into your hand. So you need to tell them, I'm preparing for this one. I'm interested, I'm prepared for quantum mechanics. So they will ask in quantum mechanics. For that, you need to prepare for quantum mechanics clearly. They will ask some commutation relations, all these things. Small things only they will ask, not the longer questions. So at least 1-2 minutes you can solve those things. And some equation wave functions and normalize the wave functions. These things they will ask. So they don't ask for 5 marks CSR level questions. They will ask small things only. What is the density formula, wave function density? What is probability density? All these things. Small things only also.
So, Rajendra, is that okay?
No, sir, I'm not satisfied.
Okay.
Okay. So Balaganesh, Balaganesh and Abdul, you share your number in chat box.
Yeah. So with that, we can discuss this.
You guys can discuss in detail. Sandeep Andem, any question?
Yes, can I share my experience?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, sir. Good morning to all. Good morning, sirs. So, my name is Sandeep. I have recently joined as a PhD student in SRM University, which is located in Tamil Nadu. So before
actually, students has rising hands. After that, we can start actually. Why? Because time is going on.
Satya, do you have any
Yes.
question?
Yeah, sir. Thank you. అన్న బాగా లేచిన నీ రీసెర్చ్ టాపిక్ ఏంటి నాకు?
యా
నీ రీసెర్చ్ టాపిక్ ఏం నడుస్తుంది నాకు హెచ్సిలో? అండ్ ఆల్సో సేమ్ క్వశ్చన్ ఫర్ Abdullah and Sushmita also.
సో ప్రజెంట్లీ ఐఎమ్ వర్కింగ్, యూఆర్ ఆస్కింగ్, ఆర్ ఇన్ యూనివర్సిటీ ఏరియాస్?
అవునన్నా. ఇప్పుడు 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 హెచ్సిలో నీ రీసెర్చ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఏంటి?
మెయిన్ రీసెర్చ్. సో ఇట్ డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ ద ప్రొఫెసర్ యాక్చువల్లీ.
నో, నువ్వు దేంట్లో చేస్తున్నావు అడుగున్నాడు, నీ టాపిక్ ఏంటని అడుగుతున్నాడు.
ఐఎమ్ వర్కింగ్ ఆన్ హెక్సాఫెరైడ్స్ యాక్చువల్లీ. Hexafarads theoretical and experimental approach, and the one title is M-type hexafarads for permanent magnets and microwave device applications in experimental and theoretical approach for that topic.
So Abdul, your topic, research topic.
Yeah. So here I am working on organic thin film transistors, both experimental and theoretical. So IV characteristics, and so we'll simulate again.
Now the research is going theoretical and experimental. Recent years.
Susmita, your research topic.
Yeah, actually, I have not yet chosen my research topics. In our institute, we can do 2 projects and then choose our field. So right now, I'm working in theoretical material science and quantum chemistry. Yeah.
Yes. As Satya raised the query, while you are going for selecting institutes, so you may have some interest area. So because of that is highest institution, you need not to go there. Why? Because if there is no proper lab for your research area, it's a waste of time. So your PhD will go for 7-8 years also. So while choosing the university, you need to do some homework on university also. Who is the professors there, who is working on the which area working, how many papers they are publishing in a year, so that and your PhD will be easy. And the lab facilities are most important. If you are interested in good area, there should be a good lab actually. So that depends your results of PhD. Even if you are having big research area, in joining in a big institute, if that professor hasn't some proper lab, you won't survive easily there. So selecting institutes also, it's a good thing by reviewing professor profiles, university profile, how many papers are coming out from that institute, all these things.
Thank you, Bala.
Yeah, thank you అన్న. ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ మైండ్, మధ్యలో నాకు కొంచెం నెట్వర్క్ ఇంటరప్షన్ వచ్చింది, కొంచెం మీ టాపిక్స్ చాట్ బాక్స్ లో రాస్తారా? ఇఫ్ యూ డోంట్ మైండ్.
Yes.
Yeah, please type your research topics in chat box.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, sir, not from my side.
Okay, so Damodar asked a question. Other than PhD, what can we do after MSc? Rana sir, can you answer this, please?
Absolutely. So this has been my favorite topic for a long time now. And in one of the conversations, Abdul Aziz was so upset that the university did not had a kind of an atmosphere for research orientation and such. That has been the greatest advantage for me in being in OU, because the university didn't have it. I was so happy to explore the world beyond the general research. Incidentally, it so happened that during our academic days, we had an exposure to particle accelerators, pre-research work kind of a project, which was completely sponsored by the central government then, wherein we were allowed to travel at government expense to Center for Advanced Technology Indore for a stay and pre-research work kind for about 3 weeks, plus or minus, wherein they gave us exposure to particle accelerators. Indus 2 was being built then, so that we know and understand what is happening. And if in case after PG, we can pursue that research area. And that was a great eye-opener. Immediately after joining, maybe for after 3-4 days, I realized that I was not cut out for research at all. Physics was becoming too difficult for me to manage. The complexities of physics in PG with multiple subjects was too overwhelming. Apart from that, I was also more interested in electronics. I come from applied electronics as a coursework in campus. That's when we started exploring opportunities beyond the teaching and research per se. And incidentally, for physics background, there is a beautiful domain in semiconductors where the industry looks for people with physics and electronics background. There are two main domains in semiconductor where we can get in. One is VLSI, which is chip designing side. Another is embedded, which is more into firmware kind of for the chipsets which are designed. And then there is something called post-silicon, which is to test the chipsets which are designed and manufactured. These are exclusive domains, very specific to the technology, either from physics background or from electronics. There is no way anybody without these backgrounds can make it. And so far, whoever is looking for opportunities in research, lecturers, I have a very, I will say not a bad news, but much better news. Industry has more opportunities for entrants or fresh grads than the teaching and the research field as far as India is concerned. And in India, at least in our domain, the semiconductor domain, the intake for fresh grads is humongous. And with the whole focus of semiconductor industry across globe, where US, Europe, India, everybody is pitching in so many millions and billions of dollars into setting up industry. If you would have noticed and be aware of the general affairs these days in our country, you would see Indian government putting extremely strong emphasis on semiconductor domain to be established either into manufacturing or segment. Manufacturing does not bring just the manufacturing related jobs. It also brings in design, the supply chain, the entire system which is related to the semiconductor domain comes up. There are a number of opportunities in this domain, so many that it just needs people with these skills, because this is something which is very specific to physics and electronics students only. It becomes even more interesting to have people from this domain. Of course, our coursework, not only MSc, even for that matter, either BTech or MTechs in predominant institutes across country, they are not aligned to the semiconductor industry needs for the employment. That's where the bridge courses come in. The bridge courses are the short-term courses with 4 to 6 months of duration, where the course fee ranges from 40,000 to 90,000 for the entire coursework. Most of the institutes are in Hyderabad, Bangalore, Pune, NCR region, being Delhi, Noida, Gurgaon, which is an NCR region. These are the areas where there are predominant and successful institutes which allow these bridge courses. And invariably, anybody who completes a bridge course and who has the appetite to get into industry, more or less ends up securing a job, either by the time they complete the course or within a couple of weeks or months by the time they complete the course. Industry, because it is very niche in the domain, in the first 1-2 years, mostly goes into learning what needs to be done, how it needs to be done. It's more like a training kind of a phase, where people are still paid well within the 4 to 9 lakh per year packages if it is in India. And then once an engineer becomes 3+, 4+ years of experience, the pay scales shoot up very high to an extent, sometimes about 5 to 6 times as a year's multiplier. What I mean is by the time they hit 4-5 years, their pay scales will cross 20-24 lakhs, something like that. Money is not a problem in the domain at all. It's the inclination and interest for the people. The domain is very tough. As long as we are in the semiconductor domain, because the technology keeps evolving, we would continue to learn. That's why it needs people within the semiconductor domain or background of physics and electronics. The predominant employers who are in India are Intel, MediaTek, Qualcomm, AMD, Xilinx, Cisco. There are many more product companies. Apart from this, there is also a segment of engineering services, which is a bit more easier to get into than the product company as a first job, like Madhu recently secured one. So those are engineering services company. They provide you ample opportunities to learn and enhance our skills. And then there is EDA, which is electronic design automation domain, where companies like Cadence, Metagraphics, Synopsys exist. They are major employers within Hyderabad. There are a lot of opportunities. We just need people with the right mindset to get in, and it's easy. Most of them, I understand that people are wondering what covers the basics of physics. Do I start from 6th class, LKG? What covers real basics of physics? For anybody to enter VLSI domain, the concepts which are needed are very clear. They just need semiconductor devices as an understanding. So anybody who understands a CMOS structure, NPN structure, basic fundamental digital electronics, that is enough. That's the overall discussion which happens in the interview process. So we clearly know, because the domain is in semiconductor domain, nobody would ask you some random question which is absolutely out of place. That the topics which are need to be learned are very few. Of course, the application-based understanding improves. Industry is a much beautiful place than overall things, because it just provides more opportunities. And the reason why I say industry is beautiful is because within the industry, there are also areas where people get into R&D kind of positions, where they continue to explore and continue their research environment still being in industry, because industry and academics work in tandem in many of the places across geography. So the research which happens within the academia is more or less driven by industry to some extent, and vice versa. Sometimes industry drives certain research activities very focused on what they need and takes help of the academia. The difficult part for most of us to make a decision is to reinvest some money into a bridge course after completing a post-graduation. But looking at a long run, assuming the fact that most of us might have a career of about 20-30 years, investing in about 3 to 6 months to have such a beautiful 30 years after that is worth it. We all should go for it. Industry welcomes people with broader perspective. I also heard the language barriers as a question. I'm glad to announce that we really care very little about it. You have nothing to present us as paperwork and all. As long as you can communicate what your thinking process is any of the languages which we understand, be it Telugu, Hindi, Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, or anything which we understand is just fine. The language translator applications have become extremely robust and sensational these days. Even curse words are being translated beautifully now in English. We could use those. So language should not be a problem. Of course, having an English as a skill, as a language skill helps, because once you start working, we not only work with people in India, we would work with people across globe, and then English becomes our common point to exchange ideas and understand the ideas and reciprocate. That's where we are. So it is easier to get into industry than all the fields which people are talking about. Somebody like Abdul had to go through the rigor of studying for GATE, securing a rank, getting into a project. Likes of Dr. Pawan are helping him eventually to realize that GATE is not a great, really an important aspect to get into research activities. But then that is also one of the segments or criteria which helps them give the podium for interview processes and all. Getting into industry is much easier. Surviving in industry needs just a personal discipline. Money is plenty. It takes care of you, your parents, your next generation very well. And then it's a beautiful domain in all. As long as you are in the domain, you are still within the domain of physics, semiconductors, and electronics. Yep, that's my take on what it is to be in industry.
Sir, Rana sir, I have a question.
Go ahead. Yeah,
so, for
please.
example, You said about bridge courses.
Mhm.
In our department, we have other courses like solid state physics, material science, and nanoscience.
Mhm.
So, are they eligible to do these kind of bridge courses? Then,
Yeah,
if they
of
want to
course.
go to electronics, is that
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. So the fundamental purpose of having a bridge course is to realign the existing students either from BTech or MTech or MSc. Recently, Madhu has completed a course. His batch would have students of both BTech as well as MTech.
Yes.
It is common ground. Industry is not in a position to accept a student directly from college to an industry. They need certain aspects. A fundamental thing is everybody would have studied something about CMOS as an inverter. How does PMOS behave? How does NMOS behave? What happens? But applications of a CMOS inverter, what happens when we change the voltage levels, current levels? How does the saturation affect? How does temperatures affect? These are some of the things which are being taught. And same is the concept with digital. So anybody with any background, either physics or electronics, are welcome to study, have these courses. The moment they go through the course, that is when industry sees them. I have really not seen any employer hire a graduate directly from the market without having a bridge course done, at least in VLSI domain as a space.
Okay. So,
It's just not possible because it becomes too much. Because even after getting an employment, the training period lasts up to 6 to 1 year within the company. So somebody without having a bridge course, it is extremely difficult for them to figure out what's happening.
sir, could you name few institutions which are offering these bridge courses?
Oh, sure. So I did it from Department of Space ISRO in Mohali. That still continues. Then there are more popular central government driven or in collaboration like CDAC is something. And in Hyderabad we have something called Veda IIT and
Veda
Moschip. Moschip is a listed company in India. It's listed in BSc and
Sir, but
they
MEDA is
also
allowing
have
only electronic students, sir. MSc Electronics or BTech or MSc Electronics Instrumentation only.
It doesn't matter. Once you apply, they would get it.
Okay.
It's a pretty straightforward because the domain needs people from physics background.
Okay.
Electronics is very little within the domain because when we talk about, let us say, analog designs or analog layouts, there is almost nothing about electronics in it. It's either analog in nature, which is again pure semiconductor physics, or it gets into RFID, RF space, radio frequency space, and then that is also completely physics.
Okay.
So some institutes, they might be limiting it. That is probably because they work with institutes which are looking for engineers who are getting into front-end design, maybe only digital designs.
Yeah, correct.
Digital designs are where predominantly electronics engineers succeed, or because it's mostly on electronics segment. But if the institute partners with industry which is in analog space, then they would need physics because it's very difficult to find an engineer who is interested in semiconductor physics per se. And then there is Moschip runs it institute through IS something. Then there is with IIT in Bangalore, there are institutes called RVLSI. And there are many more actually these days. Some smaller institutes have come up. Most of the services companies have their own small training wing wherein they train the people and hire them into their organization, like Moschip is doing. Moschip has their training wing. They train the people and hire them in. And then there is another company called Softronics. So Softronics educational wing is called Veda IIT. They have both MTech courses as well as these bridge courses.
Okay.
So train the people, they hire them and send them to AMD kind of companies for projects. There are a lot. Right, we are just about 6-7 words away from getting that information on Google's.
Yeah, if this is the case, sir, these students are really lucky. A new window opened up, but unfortunately, in the last 10 years, I haven't seen much students into this VLSI. And at least from this batch, they will take this opportunity to move into that. Only because of lacking of this knowledge and because of lacking of these opportunities in various areas, people are not doing anything. Maybe they will use this time, at least from this batch, these guys will utilize this opportunity. And on behalf of our alumni also, we will try to highlight these points here. We will guide them in this way from this year onwards.
See, the greatest deterrent most of the time for students from Osmania campus or physics department is the bridge course fee. It looks staggeringly high. Most of us might have studied in campus by paying 1,500, 1,800, something like that as a fee per year, with more benefits coming from the government. But then bridge courses cost you 40 to 90,000 upfront, right? And then that's scary. Most of us get scared and okay, we spend so much money. What would happen if we don't succeed? But the probability of not succeeding after coursework is so little
Yes.
than not doing it. It gets to you. Once you are in a batch, you see people getting selected in campus through the interview process. There are multiple companies which keep coming in. Eventually, everybody gets into industry because there is no way to get into industry without completing a coursework in VLSI domain. And there are so many opportunities. The government itself has announced, I don't know how many $1 billion as an investment in the country. There are so many companies. Intel itself has announced to increase the headcount in Hyderabad to 1,000 members. So now there are 250 in India, in Hyderabad region. Then Micron has announced a massive investments in Hyderabad again. Micron is 150 plus or minus in Hyderabad. They are looking at 2,000 headcount. These cannot happen through lateral hiring. This has to happen through basic entry positions also. And because it is limited only for physics and electronics students, then it automatically helps us see it as a less competitive field per se than compared to opening it for all the domain members.
Yeah.
Semiconductor is the in thing in industry today, and not only today, for a while now.
Correct, sir.
It is up to us not to make use of it.
Yeah, with this batch, you proved that VLSI is possible to our students through Madhu. So thank you, sir, and congratulations, sir, for Madhu. Your guidance really helped him. And with the inspiration of Madhu, many of his friends are joining, sir. Recently, 2 joined in some other institute.
Yeah, that happens. It's like this. If let us say one person joins and he gets it, everybody gets the confidence now. But
Correct. Yeah. Now students are getting that confidence.
Yes, and it also leads a path in terms of trusting the system.
Yes.
Okay, there is a path through institute and then to industry.
Yes, sir.
It happens. People like Madhu, who are coming from a nature of being shy, they should be more vocal about it. They are the one who should be dragging in people into the domain, which happened with our batch when I moved in along with my friend.
Okay.
The entire batch of applied electronics moved into either embedded or VLSI.
Oh.
The entire batch. Only one person, I think, had already, or 2 people had a government job before they joined us. So they continued their route. But rest all of us are in industry. We, from applied electronics batch, 5 of us are in VLSI domain. Other 4 are into embedded. Some of the electronics and instrumentation, some seniors of Shiva Srinivas, they are also into embedded. We've all moved in because we knew that this is the path which we take up.
Okay.
Incidentally, none of us are in India now, but then this is how it is.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And Shiva, sir, please.
Sandeep, you want to share something? I think he raised a hand long time ago.
Yeah.
Sandeep, do you have any questions?
One second. Actually, I'd like to actually know or hear any comments from the screen before taking the questions. Yeah, Anna, you're still on mute.
Oh, Anna, నా కోసమేనా? ఓకే.
Yeah, of course, Anna. Yeah, పెద్దవాళ్ళు మీకు మీ నుంచి తెలుసుకోవాల్సిన ఏమైనా ఉంటే ఫస్ట్.
మనకన్నా పెద్ద వాళ్ళకి రానా ఉన్నాడు, రాజేష్. ఆయన తర్వాత మనం ఏం రాజేష్ అంతే కదా.
ఏమంటావు బ్రదర్, నువ్వు అప్పుడు అట్లనే ఉన్నావు, ఇప్పుడు ఇట్లానే ఉన్నావు.
అట్లనే ఉండాలి. Okay, Rajesh, that was excellent and good talk on your semiconductor. I liked it. That's good. And Pawan, I have no presentation. You were asking me PPT, right?
No, sir. If you have presentation, you present it. Otherwise, you
Oh,
please go ahead.
see,
No issue.
already everyone has presented. Though I present, it would be the same, more or less same, or even a subset of that.
Okay,
So I don't
sir.
think ఏం లేదు. So everything is fine. And coming about the discussions, I've seen that since morning everyone is discussing about PhD, stipend, private university, government university, etc. So my suggestion would be, don't go by the stipend, or don't go by the job, or don't go by the salary, or don't go by the money. You see, like, what is your interest? Okay, you go by your interest. So money second is mandatory. At the end of the day, you see, like, your interest and your satisfaction matters, right? So if you want to be in the field of physics, and if you want to be in research, and you have some specific subject, like any research area, then you study or you go on that path, right? So don't see that your next guy, or the next door guy, or the person, your friend who sits next to you is doing that field, is getting more salary, I should go on that. Okay, so go by your interest. So if you go by your interest, you put your a lot of your passion, you enjoy that field, and definitely you will be in your satisfactory, wanted, required, necessary position. So that's what I would say. That's it. See, like, when I did PhD, at that time our professors, like head of the department was Dr. Ramanamurthy. So he said that, don't be in physics field, why don't you change your subject? So that time, like, I kind of felt angry on him. So see, we are doing MSc physics, and why he's asking us to change field? I would say that was immaturity at that time, right? So if you ask me now, I would say it is quite tough to settle in the field of physics, right? If you are adamant, and if you are strict, and you are very adamant about your being in field of physics, then you continue, right? If not, and if you are good at changing your field, and you are only looking for a career, then you can follow what Rajesh said, and you have wide number of other opportunities as well, right? Else, from semiconductors, we have a lot of other opportunities as well. So now, coming about Dr. Ramanamurthy's comment, that time I really felt, kind of weird. But now, after crossing 35 of age, at this age, I feel that whatever he said is correct. You should go by the flow, how the career is advancing, how other subjects are in, right? So else, you see, you do your PhD, okay, and at the end of the day, you will end up with some job where you need to adjust yourself, right? Say, for example, you are done a PhD from some other organization, and you have completed your PhD, you have PhD degree in hand, right? And then what you will look after? You need a job, right? So you're at the age of 21, 22, you'll cross your MSc, and then PhD will take again 5 or 6 years. So you're at the age of 26 to 27. So maybe there is a gap of 1 or 2 years. So at the age of 29 and 30, you have your PhD certificate in hand. Then definitely you need a job. So just think of the job opportunities at the age of 30 you have. At the age of 30, I feel you'd have crossed most of the government jobs age, where the limit would be 28, or you are at the verge of crossing it, right? So when you have PhD degree in hand, your opportunities gets reduced, right? So you'll do PhD, you have certificate, then you'll think of what I should do next. Then obviously you choose for a postdoc. Again, you think where to do postdoc, abroad or in India. It's not like, see, I'm not discouraging you people, I'm telling the facts. So you be ready with all these facts, and choose your
Alavi, please mute your mic.
Right.
Thank you.
Ah, yeah, fine. Okay, so these are the real problems and situations which I have crossed, which I have realized. Okay, so out of it, I'm sharing this. So you have PhD in hand at the age of 29, 30, and you'll think of a postdoc, right? Again, you'll think where to do postdoc. You want to do postdoc in abroad or in India, wherever it is. Postdoc would be for 1 or 2 years, and postdoc is not going to fetch you a permanent job. Majority of the cases, postdoc will not fetch you a permanent job. I have a lot of senior friends, around hundreds in numbers, who are doing postdoc in abroad. They have been changing their postdocs. One of the guy, he's doing his 4th postdoc in MIT, right? He's doing his 4th postdoc. So you have to keep roaming from place to place, complete 1 or 1.5 year, again such apply somewhere else for the postdoc, like this. Of course, you'll be making a good amount of money where you can settle. But even after doing 4 to 5 postdocs, you will end up searching for a permanent job, right? you need a permanent job at the end of the day, no doubt in that. Okay, so now after doing 3 or 4 postdocs, you will be age of 33, 34. Then you will look towards India or some other places, whatever, and then you will think of a permanent job. Now just imagine at the age of 33, 34, what kind of permanent positions you can expect. Chances are very few, right? So you come and work as a research associate or in a project mode in some organization, or as a or you will be in a teaching field, right? So if you are ending up with the teaching field after doing your PhD or postdoc, my suggestion would be in the teaching field right away after your MSc. You complete your MSc, get into teaching, go to IIT, like Akash Institutes, Narayana Sri Chaitanya, like that, teach in Inter. If you are interested in teaching for MSc or BSc, it's not going to make you a good career, right? And teaching engineering is stands next to the teaching to intermediate field. So choose your decision wise. Go by your interest. If you're adamant that you have to do PhD, then fine. If not, you are okay with switching on your field, then you have advices from Rajesh. Else from it, you have other opportunities as well. So off late, you see, since 10 years, there is a huge break on a huge and heavy number of jobs out there in software. So being in your MSc, you can improve your programming skills, like concentrate more on C. And these days we have open source Python. So be thorough with them. And you have a lot of online courses, right? So the most named one is NPTEL. NPTEL is offering you hell lot of courses. Of late, they have started a course on data science, which runs for 1 year. They will conduct a written examination. You need to pass the exam. They have 10 different subjects. You need to clear all the subjects at once, 2 semesters, right? And these days, data science got a huge boom. So we being physics people, we have good mindset. We have good problem solving techniques. We are good at maths. So all this cleared, we have good logic. So I would say if you see a person who has just learned computer science, and if you see a person who did his MSc physics and doing programming, these two are different cases. Person with MSc physics will definitely do good at programming, right? So learn good softwares, concentrate on the upcoming subjects. Definitely you can make a career in this, if provided you are planning a career different to physics, right? So choose your decision wise, plan accordingly, go by your interest, don't go by what your friends are doing. That is everything. That's what I would like to say. And see that it's not like I'm degrading or I'm commenting on teaching field. Teaching field is as well fine if you are interested, right? That's it. Anything addition, Pawan, Rajesh?
Yes, sir.
No,
Additions?
perfect. Actually, yeah. These only for a caution. Why we
exactly.
need caution is to actually plan everything in advance. So when you are doing your PhD, you plan ahead about what you are going to do after PhD. So if you have everything in place, then you will be a very good, successful person to follow.
Yeah, if you go by your interest, you will.
Okay. So Pawan, do you have any hands raised or pending
Yeah, one
questions
question
to
from
answer?
Sandeep sir. What are the opportunities in defense sector like DRDO, DAE after completion of PhD? So any alumni who are working in DRDO to answer?
I'll take this question.
Yes, sir,
Yeah,
please.
Sandeep, I'm from DAE, Department of Atomic Energy. I did PhD from Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research, right? So I joined in IGCAR, which is a part of DAE, in the year 2008, right? So 2008, at that time they were accepting GATE, they were accepting JEST, they were accepting CSIR, and they were even conducting their own examination, right? So every top organizations, they will conduct their own written exam. You can either go through that written exam or you can apply through other modes like CSIR, JEST, and UGC net, right? So after DAE, I would say there are no opportunities after PhD in DAE, right? After completing PhD, they have one opportunity called KSKR, KS Krishnan Fellowship, right? So you need to apply to that KSKR Krishnan Fellowship. That to KSKR Krishnan Fellowship is very narrow. Say you are doing your research or PhD in a subject X. There is no rule that that subject X will be shortlisted in it. There could be other subjects ABC. So there itself, your opportunities for application are cut, right? And getting jobs here mostly depends on the Godfather. if you have a good godfather, if he is really influential in the organization, then he has to recommend you. This happens in a very less number of cases. In my batch, there were around 30 students in the year 2008. Out of 30, 15 students left to other organizations, 15 completed the PhD. So only one person got into IGCAR after completing his PhD in IGCAR. That guy was from PhD chemistry. That was a rare chance. So I would say like chances are less. But you have again the temporary positions. You can apply as a research associate in the same organizations. After RA, you can apply as a technical scientist or research scientist. So you can survive there for around 4 to 5 years after PhD. And in case any direct vacancy comes up for scientist D, and if that is in your field, then you may apply. Again, chances are less, you know. Yeah, that's it. That's what about DIE.
Okay, sir.
I think Sandeep, I have answered your query.
Yes, sir. Perfect, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Any other queries? Yeah. Can you share few details about NPCL scientific assistant and AI ATC jobs? Is there any alumni working in these fields? Is it good to be a MSc student?
ATC means air controller job, Air India, or some related to airplanes, right?
I think in airport authority, air traffic control.
Rajendra, you can unmute.
Okay.
Rajendra, you can discuss.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Air traffic control.
Yeah, ATC jobs are definitely good. When I completed my MSc 2005, I have attended one ATC job. They will conduct a written test. Written test will be simple. Definitely, any physics student would be able to crack it. They will ask basic maths, right? After that, there would be an interview. Interview will be really interesting and pretty good. They will try to extract how much memory you have, right? They will give you a 16-digit number and they will ask you to repeat. So you should be having a good memory, good instantaneous decision-taking skills, etc. Definitely, this job is definitely good. ATC is really a challenging job. According to my idea, none of my friends are working. I don't know any relevant in the present, but it's definitely a challenging job. NPCL, I have no idea. Yeah, that's it from me, sir.
Okay, sir. Any other questions? Rajendra, regarding this NPCL, we will let you know. We will ask other alumni and we will let you know the answer. Okay. Can we shift to the industry side after our PhD, and what are the basic steps to take to mold our research into industry related one?
Yeah, I would like to answer this according to my experience. Ajiz, like see, I did my PhD, and after PhD, I worked in private industry for 2 years, right? So I worked in AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. Again, it depends on your field, right? So in my case, my PhD was completely on numerical modeling. I was completely working on parallel computing, numerical modeling, mathematical calculation, etc. and all. So like my PhD topic was useful for AMD. How? AMD was, whenever they introduce a new processes, they need to update their math libraries, right? So they have basic LINPACK, LEPACK, etc. Mathematical modeling libraries. For every processor, they change. Those libraries were written in C. So depending on the architecture of the processor, you need to come out with different algorithm, right? So my PhD was apt in this field, so they have chosen me. If you feel that your PhD is helpful to some industry, they are doing a relevant job, then definitely you can apply there and you can give a try. It completely depends on what field your PhD is and what field the private industry is working, right? So that's what my experience about shifting to private industry after PhD.
Sir, మీరు ఎక్కడ చేస్తారు సార్ PhD?
Pawan, my IGCAR, Indira
Kalpakam.
Gandhi Center for Atomic Research. Right. And I know about that in the center ఉంది కదా.
Yes, IGCAR Kalpakam కదా. DIE center, UGC DIE.
UGC consultorium.
Yes, sir, consortium ఉంది అక్కడ, right.
So if anyone is interested in doing project something, we can give a try. I have my friends there.
Okay.
And presently I'm working with the MOES, Ministry of Earth Science. So my field has been completely interdisciplinary, right? I did MSc in physics. My PhD was in mechanical engineering. I worked on oceanography. I worked on as a software developer. Again, I came back to oceanography. So even you can apply in my place as well, but you will get a different field completely. You won't be in physics, right? So my field of working is completely different. If you are interested in numerical modeling, like you need to have a lot of mathematical computations, then you are welcome. You can do a project in my office.
Okay. Okay.
So presently I'm in INCOIS, Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services, which is in Hyderabad.
ఓకే సో యాక్చువల్గా స్టూడెంట్స్కి కొంత కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఇప్పుడు మొదలై ఉండొచ్చు రీసెర్చా ప్లస్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్ అనేది. సో నా పర్సనల్ సజెషన్ ఏంటంటే ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ ప్యాషనేట్ అబౌట్ ఫిజిక్స్ అండ్ రీసెర్చ్, అంటే ఫర్గెట్ అబౌట్ మనీ అండ్ అదర్ థింగ్స్, ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఓన్లీ సచ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ప్యాషన్ ఇన్ ఫిజిక్స్ దెన్ ఓన్లీ యూ చూస్ రీసెర్చ్ ఫీల్డ్. అదర్వైజ్ ఇప్పుడు మన అల్యూమిని చెప్పినట్టు, రానా సార్, శివ సార్ చెప్పినట్టు, దేర్ ఆర్ ప్లెంటీ ఆఫ్ ఆపర్చునిటీస్ ఇన్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్. సో చాలా మందికి తెలియక, మనకు అవేర్నెస్ లేక, మనకు గైడ్ చేయాల్సిన స్టాఫ్ కానీ పీజీలో కానీ డిగ్రీలో కానీ సరైన గైడెన్స్ లేకపోవడం వల్ల వీఆర్ నాట్ ఏబుల్ టు నో అబౌట్ ఆల్ దీస్ ఆపర్చునిటీస్. సో యూటిలైజ్ దీస్ ఆపర్చునిటీ అట్లీస్ట్ నౌ త్రూ అవర్ అలుమ్ని గ్రూప్. అండ్ if you are not much interested towards physics, then you can go to industry. That is what my suggestion. Yeah, thank you. Sir Rajesh sir.
Yeah. Thanks, Pavan. Thanks, Srinivasanna. Yeah, I think you can stop the recording, Pavan. I think we are
okay,
done with the questions, and if our students have any other questions, we'll pick up in the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
I think we had a very fruitful discussion and a lot of new experiences that are shared from our recent